Hello.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Well, good morning. How you doing?
I am good. To everyone out there, you've reached Reflecting Back with Michelle podcast. And I am live with Guy Keehner, owner of Springfield Acai Bowl. And he has graciously um, joined me this morning, and he's going to just tell about his life's journey up until owning the couple establishments that we're going to get into. Guy, how you doing this morning?
I'm good. I'm really good.
Yeah.
I woke up. That's half the battle.
Hey, on the right side of the bed, right?
Yes, that's absolutely right. Yeah.
When my husband wakes up grumpy, I'm like, go to the other side and try that side and see if see if that's the right side of the bed.
There you go.
So tell us a little bit about, your life, and let's kind of start off with the corporate America side before you even had a dream about starting your own business.
Oh, God. Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty easy. In my 30s, I started working for AT&T. I was there about 20 years. Looking back, I could kind of see where God guided me where I needed to be rather than where I wanted to be. We lived just south of Memphis. When I first looked at going to work for AT&T, I thought, well, Memphis is where I want to be. Obviously, that's where, you would go to work.
And why was that obvious?
Because that's the big city. That's where all the people are. That's where, you'd want to, you assume that's where you go to work at.
I see.
However, at the time, Tunica, which is a big gambling establishment, big gambling area, is just south of Memphis in Mississippi. They also needed people to work for AT&T. And they made me a much better offer down there than they would in Memphis. So I went down there to work, and I had no idea what I was getting into. It's like anytime you go to work at a new company, it's like they throw all these different job titles, etc., at you. And you're going, great, I don't know what they mean, but okay.
You're right.
So I started out with AT&T as a facility tech.
And how long were you in that role?
I was probably there the last 14 years of AT&T.
Okay. So is that the only job that you had?
No. No. We had a car lot before that. I was in the military before that. Oh, no, I worked at a car lot before that. Then I was in the military. Before we came up here, I had a food truck that I was running.
Really?
When I was working at AT&T. Did that.
So you did that on the weekends, your food truck?
Actually, I started it on the weekends, and it grew to the point where I had to hire a couple of guys to run it during the week. But they'd run it during the week, and then we'd have nighttime stuff we'd go do, and then we did weekend stuff. It just exploded. And
so how did you get in the food truck business?
Back then, all these corporations, including AT&T, were always talking about layoffs. Oh man, we're gonna lay off. We're gonna lay off.
Sure.
I had 20 years service, and I was the low man on the totem pole. So with 20 years service and being low man on the totem pole, I needed to have an exit strategy or a strategy just in case something ever happened. So I thought, I looked into a lot of franchises. I looked into just something else to do on the side. And I came across this, it's a photo. It's online, and you could look it up. It's the $1 grilled cheese truck. So I thought, well, hey, that's what I'll do. I'll do like $1 grilled cheese. You can make money doing that, but you got to sell a lot of them. Well, we tried. Didn't work. No, it didn't work. So we.
And why didn't it work?
Because it wasn't enough profit.
Okay.
At $1, you really,
Sure.
it would might have been good if you were at a festival selling 1,000 of them, but to just do, to go do events, you just couldn't make any money. So we changed it to the $2 grilled cheese truck, and that worked great. Okay. So we actually sold grilled cheese for $2. We had a ham and cheese, a turkey and cheese, a bologna and cheese for $3. We did a $5 deal where you got any of those sandwiches, a bag of chips, and a drink for $5. And then obviously we had other stuff. We had
Mhm.
Philly cheesesteaks and hot dogs and brats and things like that too, to
Wow.
actually make a little bit of money.
Yeah.
But
Now that was before the boom of the food truck, right?
that was, yeah,
Yeah.
that was, well,
Because right now they're
yeah,
everywhere.
yeah, that was about when it was starting to
Mhm.
really go.
Okay.
And like I said, I still get calls today, 2 years later, saying, "Hey, look, can we use your truck?" It's like, look,
Yeah.
I've been closed for years.
So when you bought the truck, was it already ready to go, or did you have to customize it to be a food truck?
No, we actually, like I said, we were down in Mississippi,
Hmm.
so I looked for a food truck for a long time. We actually came to Springfield to buy one,
Okay.
and then took it down to Mississippi and ran it.
Hmm.
That was already done. I mean, you just had to put your equipment in there, so I had to get the griddle and fridges and
Hmm.
all that kind of stuff. But it was already set up with sinks and all that. And then we added a lot to it. But yeah, it was great. We had a good time doing that.
That sounds fun.
So that
Yeah.
was my first experience with food sales,
Okay.
and it was a good time.
Yeah. And why did it end?
Because we moved. My brother, I tried to get him to come down here, and he said, "Oh, I did some research, and they say crime is really high." I'm like, "What crime? I don't
Yeah.
see any crime."
Right, we're talking about Springfield, Missouri. As compared to like St. Louis and Chicago, I think we're like up there, supposedly.
No,
But
that's
yeah, I don't,
yeah, I
I
don't get
don't,
that either.
I don't
But
know if it's just, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to tell my age, but I'm up there as well, and I don't run into, knock on wood, praise Jesus. I don't know what you want to do. I'm afraid I'm jinxing myself now.
uh,
I'm gonna go to Walmart and get mugged or something, but it hasn't happened yet. Yeah.
I just don't see it, and I'm with you. We travel. I go downtown. We go all over this area, and it's clean. The people are great.
Yeah.
Everybody is super nice and helpful. When we moved here, I thought people were trying to sell me something or get something over on me because they're so nice, and I was like, okay, what do you want? What do you need a 20? Is that what's going on here?
Right. Right.
But people are just genuinely
Mhm.
wholesome, good people, and it's so weird to see because it's not your normal America, especially
Mm-mm.
coming from Memphis.
Sure.
I was
Yeah.
like, this is crazy.
So is your wife retired at the time, or is she currently was she working when you moved to Springfield?
She also was running her own business. She has a laser engraving business that she runs.
Okay.
So she does stuff like these cups. Oh, there you go, like that. So she
Nice.
engraves all this stuff, and
Okay.
so she customizes whatever on them, and
TAK engraving. Okay.
yeah.
Oh, I have to say this. So I do not get paid to endorse or interview or anything like that on this podcast. It is totally free ministry. Okay,
Yeah.
so you both are in Springfield,
Yep.
and are you just twiddling your thumbs thinking, okay, what's our next chapter?
Okay, so after that, we moved up here, and we decided we wanted to travel. We like to cruise, and we like to goof off. We went on a cruise, and then a couple days before Thanksgiving, I said, "Hey, what are we doing after Thanksgiving?" She says, "Nothing." I said, "Great, we're leaving on Saturday to go on another 14-day cruise," which turned into a 21-day cruise.
Wow.
Then we went on another cruise. Then we went to an all-inclusive down in Dominican Republic, and we went on another cruise. And I'm like, "Dear, we got to stop this. We got dogs. We got to be home occasionally."
Right.
And so I had some friends down in Mississippi that owned an acai bowl restaurant, and they loved it. And I liked the fact it was clean. There's no oil. There's no grease. So we started looking at, well, there's a need. We can
Mhm.
fill it. So we thought we'd go ahead and start it. And so that's what we did. July 15th of 22, we started and opened up the Springfield Acai Bowl on Republic Road.
Okay.
Um, the scary thing was when they came and hung the sign up, the
Hmm.
guys that hung the sign said, "Oh, another Chinese restaurant." I'm
Oh
like, yeah, I'm
no.
like, "Oh, great. So
Oh
maybe the
no.
Midwest is not the most the best place to put this thing."
Oh no.
but
That sure
but
was
we
great.
were really blessed, and it was a phenomenal opening.
let's talk about that. So you said that you opened the Springfield, Missouri one location first.
Support from the community was
Mm.
great. People were lined up out the door. They were parking on Republic Road, which they shouldn't have been, which is really bad. We had no idea. It was just Teresa and I running things. We had no help because we expected it to be a nice soft opening,
Sure.
and slow and gradually build. And that's not what happened.
Tell us about the experience of the first time opening the door.
Okay, so we opened the door, and the morning was kind of slow. I mean, it was the morning. People were still going to work and all that. I'd say about 10 o'clock, things started getting crazy, and people started getting in line, and we just couldn't keep up. So Teresa and I, we're
Was it
new
just
at-
you and Teresa?
Just Teresa and I.
Okay.
Yep. That was just the two
No
of us.
staff, just
No
you two.
staff.
Okay.
Just us. We didn't
All right.
expect anything big. And it started getting crazy, and we couldn't keep up. She's taking orders and topping and checking people out, and I'm building bowls as fast as we can, and it's all new to us too because
Sure.
we just opened, So we had the concept down, we had the flow down, but we didn't have the skills down,
Sure. Now, was there training that you had to attend and get certified, or is this a franchise?
It is not.
Okay.
Not anymore, or not yet.
Okay. Right. Not yet,
Maybe
yeah.
eventually it will be.
Sure.
But no, so we there was no training again, so we were just kind of
Okay, just winging it.
yeah, like I said, I'd been in the food industry. We knew how we worked it on the truck. I knew speed was important. I had the basics down, but we didn't have the skills of repetition. When somebody came in and said, "Hey, I want a Rio bowl," it was like, "Okay, what is on a Rio bowl? How do I do?" Okay, then I want a Brazil. Okay, now what's on a Brazil? What? Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yes,
So
sure. For our listeners right now that doesn't know what it is, so tell us a little bit. What's the name mean? The meaning behind it. Why would we want to come to your establishment?
oh, don't do that. Oh, it's terrible.
Tell us, guys. Why would we want to come visit? Besides, you're awesome. Besides that,
Yeah. Well, yeah. There's that. But okay, the bowls are really, really healthy for you. The bases we use are 100% fruit, a little bit of water, and some organic cane sugar. So there's nothing unnatural in them at all. Then we use 100% fresh fruit. We don't use any frozen strawberries or blueberries or nothing like. Everything is fresh. We buy fruit almost daily. Then the toppings we use are all gluten free. They're all gluten free. So even our granola is gluten free, which is a big deal for a lot of folks. They don't want that gluten in there. And we do have a lot of great toppings. Ton of antioxidants in there. There's 10 times more than a blueberry.
Okay.
So it's super good for you. It's good for your brain function, your digestive system. It supposedly helps you lose weight. I myself, I eat it all the time, but I ain't going to say I eat so much I'm losing weight. I don't know how that works. If you eat, you lose weight. I don't get that. But supposedly that's what they say.
Okay.
But it's great for all sorts of things because of all the antioxidants in it. So what happened is the surfers would go down to Brazil and surf because they got some really gnarly waves, dude, and they took and they loved this stuff. They're like, this stuff is great. So when they went back to California, they took it with them. They said, look, we're going to have to figure out how to get this up here. So it started back in California in the 90s.
Okay.
And then the surfers would go to Hawaii or Florida and surf. And so the next couple of places that got it were Hawaii and Florida. And so everywhere that the surfers went, that's where people would be able to get acai bowls. And then it just kind of grew into the States. Now, if you're into jiu-jitsu, you'll hear a different story. The story there is that jiu-jitsu came out of Brazil. And so the people that do jiu-jitsu in the States at every match have an acai bowl place to eat at all the jiu-jitsu tournaments. And they're like, yeah, because it's a Brazilian thing. So the guys that do jiu-jitsu brought it up. But the articles I've read, and I wasn't there for either of it, all say it's the surfers. But it could be from either, and that's fine. It's a really good, healthy breakfast, lunch, snack.
Nice.
So
Tell us a little bit. What am I seeing here? What are the three options that are on the screen right now?
okay, I would say that the first one with the acai in the background on the left is going to be a Bahamas. So that's a coconut base with granola, pineapple, chocolate chips, Nutella, and it's a super popular bowl. A lot of people like it because the coconut pineapple is kind of like a pina colada. If you
Sounds
do
good.
like that flavor, we also have a blue cream that is it's a blue base, and it is coconut pineapple put together in the base. So it's
Okay.
already got that flavor. Middle one looks like it's going to be a Cuba. So that's our dragon fruit base. Again, it's got granola on it, bananas, strawberries, and pineapple with almonds, coconut, and honey.
Mm.
Okay.
I'm getting hungry
third,
here.
yeah. The third one almost looks like, I don't know which one that would be. Maybe a Build-A-Bowl. So that's a nice thing too. If you don't like one of our options, you can always build your own.
Okay.
You can say, hey, I want the peanut butter base. I want, actually that's a Build-A-Bowl because I can see two bases on it. Looks like somebody put a coconut and something else. Probably one of the things the girls were playing with. They do that all the time. They develop some really neat recipes, and I love it because I don't have to.
Exactly.
It's great. But
Well,
yeah,
good.
if you don't like what the options are, you just go in and say, hey, look, I want to do this base. I want to do these fruit toppings. I want to do these other toppings on top of that. And we put it together for you right there.
Nice. So you said girls. So I assume that you have staff now. It's
I
just
have,
not you. Okay.
oh, I have
Good.
lots of staff. And I
Okay.
can't find a guy to work for me. I tell you what, I don't know what it is. They're all scared of me or something.
Hey, there's a
But
plug if you're looking for a job right there.
yeah, all the ladies, though, are great. We have a
Yeah.
ton of great ladies working for us.
A lot of people would be like, "What? Are you crazy? You just retired. You're supposed to be out gallivanting around doing your little cruise thing." Walk me through that. And are you happy doing what you're doing?
Why, I was running a food truck while I worked at AT&T. Always got something going on. And she knew there's no way I'm going to retire and just sit here. Yeah,
Right.
I'm not
Right.
going to do that. Absolutely love it. I love the people. I love dealing with
So
folks. I love the fact that I can mess with them because I can't get fired.
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have a lot of fun. Yeah.
So you have your Springfield location, and then you decide, hey, I want to open another store because I'm not busy enough, and let's do this, Teresa. what,
Yeah.
what did she think about that?
Oh, she did not like that idea at all. She did not, and I keep telling her I want 10.
Oh
She's like,
gosh.
yeah. I just like, oh my, no, we're not doing 10.
Yeah. Maybe that's where franchise comes in. You just get the residuals from the franchise. Well, tell us about the Ozark location.
So we decided we wanted a second location, and we wanted it to be down in Ozark. Again, we're just really blessed to have the location we have. We're across from Lambert's in the Bullseye Strip Mall.
Okay, let me pause there. I need to say I do not get paid.
Yeah.
Nor I do not get any residuals for talking about any business or affiliates. So I have to put that out there. Okay, go ahead.
No worries. It's just a location. Everybody knows where that's at.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
So we're right across there in that Bullseye parking lot. So that's where you can find us, and it's a super great location. It's right off the interstate. It's super easy to get to. In fact, I've got customers that go to our Springfield location that say, because they're doing all that construction on Republic Road right now, they go to the Ozark one just because it's so much easier to get into. They're like, it's right here. It's right off the interstate. I can get here faster and easier than I can fight the Springfield traffic. So that's been really good location. I did a lot of learning on that one. We were hoping to open up by July 1st, but there was a lot in there. It used to be a check cashing place. So I actually had to go in. We had to get an architect to draw everything up. I did most of the work. So I got to learn how to use a jackhammer, which I'd never done before. I learned how to use a concrete saw.
Wow.
I did the framing, the electrical, all sorts of stuff. I didn't do any plumbing. Thank goodness I'm not a plumber.
Right.
But I made the holes for them. So it was a great learning experience. We did a lot of fun stuff in there. And it turned out beautiful. Teresa and her sister decorate both of the shops. They
And
come
it's
in
very
and they do,
pretty.
yeah,
Mhm.
they do all the decorations and the pictures, and they set up all of that, which is good because I have zero imagination when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we opened up. When was that? August 15th, I
Okay.
think. Yeah, so we were about a month and a half late, but it worked out. So now we're open there
Yes.
and
I
been there
mean,
just
it's a
over a month.
super great location. I mean,
It
that
really
gas
is.
station's very, very busy. So how did you find that location?
So we actually were driving by and we saw it. And we're like, how is this open? I mean, this is a great location. Why is this one
Probably a
spot?
God
You
thing,
know,
huh?
it was, I think.
Mhm.
And so when we went to try and lease it, uh, they came back and they said, "Yep, we'll lease the property to you." And then he told me, he said, "We have turned down a ton of businesses for this
Mm.
place because either they were not the right fit, there were competition, or we just didn't want what they were selling."
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's like, we don't want that in our establishment. And he said, "I think you guys will be a really good fit," and it has been. It's been a really good fit up there so far. So again, they were waiting for the right people. We just happened to be the right people, which worked out good for
Mhm.
everybody.
Now, are you kind of content now, or are you looking for the third location?
I'm actually looking at doing a food trailer
Okay.
to do festivals and get the word out a little bit even farther,
Mhm.
so we can go do other events.
Let's talk about your hours.
Okay. So we're open 7 in the morning till 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Okay.
Saturdays and Sundays we're open. Saturday we open at 8 to 4 and Sundays 10 to 4. Gives you a chance to go to service and then you can come and get a bowl after service.
One thing that I like to do, Guy, is words of wisdom. What words of wisdom do you have for anybody that's listening?
Oh, okay. I did tell this to one of the young ladies that worked there the other day. She's like, "Got any dating advice?" I said, "Don't ever go out with a guy that won't hold the door for you." That was
Mm,
pretty good words of wisdom.
that that is good words of wisdom. We young age is when I taught them, and the middle one, he's engaged,
Oh,
and
nice.
she likes to open her own doors and stuff like that. And I told her, I said, listen, I worked really, really hard. I said, I know you got your own door. I said, but please do me a favor and let him open your door.
There you
I
go.
worked really hard to train him. So
That's nice.
yeah.
Well, it's true though. It
Mhm.
means that's a big character thing. Words of wisdom. Now you give me a moment to think. I'd say don't be scared. If you look at different businesses, small businesses, and like Teresa and I talk about this all the time. Whenever we're doing something, we always say, "Look, we're not the first. You know, somebody's already gone through all of this process, and if you can be the first, that's great." But like when we were putting our other business together, they said, "Oh, look, you have to do this and this and this," and it was just a bunch of hurdles. I mean, it was so much stuff that we were just pulling our hair out, and it's like, but calm down. We're not the
Mhm.
first. It's gonna end. We're gonna get through this, and you got to get through it to get to the end result. So, times are gonna get hard. Things are gonna be tough, especially starting out. You just got to put the work in, and
Was there any time that you wanted to give up? You're like, I am not doing this.
no, I don't think
No,
so.
good.
I'm a pretty positive person.
Yeah.
I don't usually, even when times are bad, it's good.
Mhm.
I mean,
Mhm.
I'm still alive.
Mhm.
I'm still here for a reason. So
And maybe that's a word of advice. Also, your attitude, keeping a positive attitude through the storm to get you to the other side.
sure, sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, good. Well, I want to say thanks for coming on.
Well, thank you very much for having me. It's been a lot of fun.
Oh, well, thanks. I really appreciate it. And good luck. And I'm hoping whomever is watching that you go by and say hi to Guy and Teresa. It was my pleasure interviewing you, and good luck to all your endeavors.